Welcome back to Mr. Leek's free science tutorials. The question I'm going to be dealing with in this topic is describe what a half-life is and how do you use it. Some key points in here. Describe half, right? So what you're going to be doing at some point is you're going to be dividing by 2. And then also, how do you use it? So, what is a half-life? A half-life is the time taken to lose half of its initial radioactivity. Right, so that means if a substance had 100 particles, right, that were potentially radioactive, half of them decayed in an hour, then the half-life would be 1 hour. You'd also know that then, out of those 50, 25 more would then decay in the next hour, because half of them decay every hour. Now, this graph here illustrates it, and this is a typical half-life graph. What it does, it starts at the top there. Let's say there's 100 red dots in the top there. Down this side here is the amount of radiation, the radioactive decay. Across the bottom there is in time, or it can be in half-lives. So to go from 100 there to 50 there, what you then need to do is that time to that time is the half-life. Then what happens is, if you've got 50 there and it decays to 25, from there to there is then the half-life. And what you do is you get a graph that continues and continues until basically everything's gone. Now, when it gets to these lower levels here, right, it's actually quite difficult to plot and difficult to use. The main use of half-life is carbon dating. And what carbon dating is where they use carbon-14 that is naturally occurring as a radioactive isotope of carbon. It's naturally occurring in the atmosphere, and we all have a certain percentage of carbon-14 inside us. When something dies, passes away, right, then what happens is that carbon-14 then starts to decay. And you can use the amount of carbon-14 in something to calculate how old something is or how long ago something died. Now, I'll be doing a later video in a bit more detail about half-lives and how you can actually use them. But the question is, describe what a half-life is and how do you use it? A half-life is the time taken to lose half of its initial radioactivity, and it's used in carbon dating using carbon-14.